I'm tired. I really don't want to make another video, but I need to get this review out for you. Otherwise, I'm kind of just going to erase this movie from my mind. And this is Underwater. And, this was not a movie on my radar. I did see it on the list of movies when I looked at movies coming out this weekend. And I was like, oh, that looks probably terrible because it's a movie coming out in January, so I'll just see Just Mercy. But then some critics and some people were talking about it, and I was like, ooh, they were saying it's okay, so I was like, okay, I'll check this out. And this is a 20th Century Fox movie, and it was apparently shot in 2017, and apparently Disney has actually most likely been sitting on this movie since then, because they were kind of afraid to put this movie out, which I don't understand why, because Disney owns most of Hulu, right? So anything that they don't want to release under the Fox umbrella, they could just put it there. Why are they so afraid to try new things? It's not that hard. Just do it. Stop making Lion King 2019 and other garbage remakes and make some new actual crap. Who cares if it's not that good? At least it's something new. Because, dear gosh, I want something new from from Disney. I'm tired of all the sequels. Even the ones I like are kind of boring. Okay, Toy Story 4, like that movie. But, I'm kind of sick of Toy Story and crap. So, yeah. There's a reason it took a lot longer than Toy Story 3 did to cross $1 billion. And it was talked about far less. So, anyways, Underwater is this kind of this thriller, the sci-fi thriller where these people are trapped underwater. They think it might be an earthquake under the ocean, but they're not really sure. So they're trying to figure out what's going on and how to get back up to the surface without dying, and and figure out what's going on to this underwater base that they're kind of trapped up. That's kind of just a loose description of the movie. That's kind of the concept. You got these people trapped underwater, and they're trying to get out. So this movie's not that great. It's not bad. I think if you wanted to rent this, or you were just tired one day, and you're just like, I just want to sit down and kind of watch a dumb movie I don't really have to pay that much attention to, this would be a good one. And it's not a bad watch either. It's really not. So, the acting is okay. You got Kristen Stewart in this movie. She's doing a decent performances. All the performances are really not more than above average performances. Like, they're okay. I don't know. And T.J. Miller is pretty terrible. See, I've always hated T.J. Miller. I have my own reasons for doing that. Like, number one, when the Emoji Movie came out, he got a lot of hate for that movie, as he was the star, and of course the movie was getting hate. So he got pissed off about all the hate and said he was going to commit suicide because people were hating the Emoji Movie. What is wrong with you? Of course people would hate it. It's a pretty terrible idea and a pretty terrible movie. And I don't know anybody that's specifically hating on you for that movie. So, what's wrong with you? And as an actor, you get paid to be in a lot of garbage movies that you just have to pretend are okay, and good movies. So just don't even give me that crap, man. And I don't like him in other movies. He's not funny. He's not that great of an actor. He's the same character in every movie. Has the same exact voice. He's in Big Hero 6. He gives the same exact performance here that he does in Big Hero 6, Ready Player One, and the Emoji Movie, which I've seen all those movies. So, and only one of those is good. I hate my life. That's a joke, but, oh my gosh. Okay. And so, the effects are okay. It's kind of a really dark movie, of course, that's underwater. It kind of looks a little bit like that Godzilla movie that came out a few years ago, the 2014 one. Not the one that came out King of Monsters, not that one. I don't like that one. I don't know why I'm giving my opinions on so many movies and not actually talk about the movie that I'm reviewing. Maybe that's a sign that the movie isn't really worth talking about. but I still want to talk about it. So, you know, my main problem with this movie is there are entire parts of this movie that seem like rip-offs of like other movies. Like they even mentioned this 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, kind of a rip-off of that in some areas. It's a little bit of a rip-off of like Alien and all kinds of other movies, you know. And there's kind of this. This is a spoiler, but it's really kind of a mild spoiler, and I feel like most people aren't really going to go see this movie. So, spoiler warning, if you don't want a spoiler, just skip ahead about like 2 minutes. There's kind of this monster at the end of the movie. It looks very similar to like Godzilla, Demogorgon, and Cthulhu from like H.P. Lovecraft. Apparently, a lot of people don't know who Cthulhu is, and then a lot of people do. It's kind of weird. But yeah, Cthulhu is pretty cool. Look up H.P. Lovecraft. But yeah, that was a little weird. And like this movie has entire shots and sequences of creatures that look like xenomorphs. It is almost a shot for shot rip-off of Aliens in some scenes. Like literally the opening scene is like them running through this hallway and like it's the way it's shot, it literally looked like a scene from Alien where the xenomorphs like crawling in like the ceiling and it's coming out and it's like and it looked like that, except there was nothing coming out, but it was just all these shots of the ceiling, and it was just a weird movie. And plus it's all these kind of people in kind of like what looks like a spaceship, and it's being ripped apart, and there's little creatures in there and things like that. You know, it's kind of a derivative of a lot of things. And yes, this movie is just fun. Is a fun thriller, but like some of these sequences and ideas are just rip-offs, and there aren't really any characters in this movie. So you're kind of just watching these blank slates for people, and it does that stupid Rogue One crap where they say a line like, "I've been in this war since I was 16 years old," or whatever. Yeah, Cassian Andor says in Rogue One. And right, that's supposed to be his character, right? You're supposed to relate with him now. Well, no, I don't want. That's nothing, right? You're giving me a little line about something that happened in the past, but that doesn't tell me anything about who he is now. Doesn't tell me anything about this character. Doesn't show me anything. Doesn't do anything to the story. Doesn't help the movie. It's nothing. It is straight up nothing. And that's the most of the script writing for these characters in this movie. And I will say the script is kind of garbage in some areas. Some of it works, some of it doesn't, and a lot of it's just kind of rip-offs of other things. Again, this movie should have just been released on Hulu, and I probably would still have these same problems, but I feel like more people would have seen it, more people would have talked about it, because it's actually not that bad of a movie, and I wouldn't have released it in January, a month where there's all kinds of garbage movies. So yeah, this is a solid C or D or something like that. But yeah, I liked this movie for what it was, but I'm not really ever gonna rush back to go see this. Maybe I'll pick it up on 4K or Blu-ray when that comes out, if it's like $5, $6, because it's kind of this mess of a movie. That, you know, it has some flaws. It's good in some areas, but I don't know. It's a solid C.